Introduction. Find out how homemade vegetable beds have turned backyards into mini farms. Also learn about the military version of fast food or meat, creamy dish with an unusual name. Today we will look at 10 foods that people consumed during World War II to ensure their survival. 1. Victory gardens. Victory gardens have played a crucial role in the lives of American families, providing families with high-quality food. These gardens, also known as military gardens or food gardens for defense, have been planted in private homes and public parks throughout the United States. The government encouraged citizens to grow their own vegetables, fruits and greens to supplement their diets and support the war effort. These gardens not only provided food, but also boosted morale by instilling a sense of contribution and empowerment. About a third of the vegetables produced in the United States during the war were grown in victory gardens. 2. Spam. Canned spam meat, produced by the Hormel Foods Corporation, gained significant popularity during World War II. The spam mainly consisted of pork shoulder and ham. Due to the shortage of fresh meat for soldiers, spam has become an acceptable alternative due to the ease of transportation and long shelf life. Both soldiers and civilians used spam because it was affordable and versatile. It could be used in various dishes. This played such an important role during the war that the military purchased over 170 million pounds of spam. American soldiers jokingly called it special army meat. 3. That's right. During World War II, when fresh apples were scarce and expensive, people came up with creative ways to make desserts, including a mock apple pie. This pie used regular crackers soaked in a mixture of sugar, water and spices to mimic the texture and taste of apples baked in a pie crust. It became popular because it allowed families to enjoy a sweet apple dessert without using rationed or unavailable ingredients. Many people couldn't even tell the difference between a fake apple pie and a real one. 4. Egg powder became an important part of the American diet during World War II, both at home and for soldiers abroad. These eggs were completely dehydrated, which reduced their weight and made transportation easier compared to fresh eggs. One of the key advantages of egg powder was that it did not require refrigeration and had a long shelf life, which made it ideal for storage in difficult conditions. People have used egg powder in various recipes, including baking, scrambled eggs and omelets. Although they did not taste and texture exactly the same as fresh eggs, they provided a viable alternative when fresh eggs were scarce or unavailable. The process of making egg powder was developed in the 1930s, and its production and use became widespread during the war due to the need for durable and easily transportable food sources. When stored in a cool place without oxygen, egg powder can be stored for 10 years or more, providing a reliable source of protein and nutrients during times of rationing and scarcity. 5. Beef tenderloin on toast. The favorite dish of American soldiers was fried beef with cream on toast, jokingly called SOS, ground beef on pebbles. This dish consisted of thin slices of beef jerky mixed with creamy white sauce and served on top of toast. It has become a staple food in the Army due to its simplicity and speed of preparation, nutritional value and low cost for large-scale production. For the first time, this dish appeared in the Manual for Army Chefs in 1910, which indicates its long history in military cuisine. Ground beef on toast has not only remained a common dish in the Army, but has also gained popularity in American restaurants, especially in the Mid-Atlantic region. The term pebble in military slang is used to refer to a slice of toast. 6. Cake depression. During the Great Depression, a unique cake known as depression cake gained popularity in America. This cake was made without milk, sugar, butter or eggs, ingredients that were either too expensive or difficult to obtain at the time. Instead, People used ingredients such as flour, raisins or prunes, spices, and sometimes nuts. The pie was also called a war pie during the First and Second World Wars because it did not use ingredients that were scarce or that were intended for soldiers. The recipe for this cake dates back at least to the American Civil War, demonstrating a long history of helping people in difficult times. 7. Coffee. Rationing of coffee consumption began when German submarines began attacking ships carrying coffee from Latin America. Because of this, it has become difficult to provide enough coffee for all residents of the United States. In November of the 42nd year, the government introduced rationing of coffee consumption, allowing individuals to buy only a small amount at a time. Every person over the age of 15 was entitled to 1 pound of coffee every 5 to 6 weeks. Consequently, Americans resorted to making Roosevelt coffee by reusing old coffee grounds, or adding alternatives such as chicory or posthumum, a wheat-based drink. President Franklin D. Roosevelt himself switched from coffee to milk to show his support for rationing efforts. 8. Margarine. Due to rationing in the United States, there was a shortage of butter, which forced people to replace it with oleomargarine, commonly known as margarine. Margarine is a butter substitute made from vegetable oils. During World War II, margarine was often used as a substitute for butter because it was cheaper and more readily available. However, margarine was not without its limitations. It had a different taste and texture compared to butter, and it was also artificially colored to look more like butter. Rationing of butter and an increase in margarine consumption during the war led to a decrease in butter sales even after the end of the war. 9. Lean dishes. Meat was rationed during World War II to provide soldiers and civilians with sufficient food. The government introduced fast days to save resources and redirect meat to the military. During these fast days, people were advised to consume alternative protein sources such as fish, eggs, cheese and legumes. Lean meals became a common part of the American diet during the war, and people found creative ways to cook flavorful dishes without meat. 10. Canned food. Canned food played a significant role in providing food during World War II. Canned fruits, vegetables and meat were necessary for the soldiers' diet, and were also widely consumed by the civilian population. Canning allows you to preserve products for a long time, which makes them suitable for storage and transportation. The canning industry expanded during the war to meet the increased demand. Popular canned foods were beans, peas, corn, tomatoes, peaches and tuna. These canned goods were a convenient and long-lasting food source when fresh alternatives were scarce. Conclusion. During World War II, people had to make do with limited resources and rationed ingredients. Victory gardens allowed families to grow food on their own, while products such as spam, egg powder and margarine became staples. Creative recipes such as mock apple pie and beef patty on toast provided familiar flavors and textures when traditional ingredients were scarce. Coffee and meat were rationed, which led to the use of substitutes and alternative sources of protein. Canned food has played a crucial role in ensuring a stable food supply for both soldiers and civilians. The resilience and ingenuity of people in this difficult time allowed them to adapt their diet and make the most effective use of available resources. If you like this rewind video, watch the following. And don't forget to like and subscribe, it really helps the little channel.